Hey everybody, so today's video is gonna be another quick video. Um, it is all about setting boundaries in your personal life in order to help your clients. So the number one thing that you want to think about setting boundaries is you want to make sure that these boundaries are concrete and that you're able to stick with them, because at the end of the day, it's there to help you, right? And also, you can't help your clients and help them set boundaries and really put them in place if you're not doing it yourself, right? So, today's boundary settings has been, as you guys all know if you've watched my videos, is that I work basically two jobs. So, in the morning, I work at my day job, so to speak, that I used to work full time at, that I've worked at for a couple years now. And when I started my internship in May of 2019, I went down to part time because I go to my internship at night, basically the afternoon until night. So, a part of that is that I'm exhausted. Like all the time. Like I go home and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, and I can't. Like I'm so exhausted. I start my day about at 5:30. I get up and I go work out at the gym, and then I have to be at work by 7, and then I'm there, well, here, because I'm doing the video right now, here, until 1, and then from 1:30 all the way until 7 at night, I'm at my internship, and boom, we start all over again. So I'm constantly exhausted, and I just don't have time for bullshit, to put it quite frankly. So as my caseload grows and grows and grows, and I have clients, like yesterday I had a 5-year-old. So basically I have clients all the way from early childhood development all the way up to senior citizens. So with that being said, I really have to be focused and concentrated on helping the people that truly need help. Like my day job is very much, it's still in the health industry, but it's really like paper pushing job. I work in the revenue cycle department. If you guys don't know, my undergrad is in business marketing and economics. So clearly becoming a therapist is not the same thing. And what I've learned is that, when you are switching careers, you even switch your focus of your mind, like your train of thought, and that you, especially going to be a therapist, I feel like I've become really conscious of what drains my energy. Like before, I used to know what drained my energy, but I was still entertaining the bullshit. So let me get to the point. So at my current day job, there's like a couple new people, like they couldn't really keep anybody. And so now there's like a couple new people. And so they were like, oh, let's try and get all these people trained before Camille goes down to part time. So then that way we're fully staffed. Mind you, it's been like basically me and one other girl part of the time working for this certain division of the company. But then they hired 3 more people, and their team lead person was supposed to train them, but she, like, y'all, talk about collecting a paycheck and not doing your motherfucking job. So that's her in a nutshell, because I don't even need to spend time on that. I'm sure y'all all work someplace where you're like, why does this chick still get a check? And I'm over here doing her job and mine, and y'all are still riding my ass. So that's, pretty much the situation. So in a normal circumstance, somebody that's in a management position is supposed to be training the new people. And then, yes, of course, you're always going to have the new people that are going to sit with the other people just to see how to do the job. But it's not up to the person that's not a manager to do the complete training and then constantly be bombarded by questions to the point that they can't even get their own work done, which was happening to me. And I had to complain to upper management several times because I was leaving this bullshit job and I was exhausted, like completely exhausted. And so, and I even told the new people, like, yo, you need to go to your managers and you need to ask them questions. Like, I would be on the phone, no joke. and they'd be popping over to my desk. Like one girl, oh my God, like in my culture, in the Black culture, what you're not about to do is come into my personal space. That's a no. That's a hell to the no. And so she comes into my personal space, and mind you, it's not even work related, and puts her iWatch, not joking, like this to my face. And I'm like, had my earbud in, and I'm like, whoa, like instantly the street came out, and I wanted to like snatch her up, like instant reflex. And so she was like, oh my God, look what this person texted me. And mind you, she's 40 years old. And so, she's 40 years old, and I'm looking like, what are you doing? Like, how juvenile is this? And why are you in my personal cubicle putting your wrist that close to my damn face? And so I'm like, oh, this chick is mad disrespectful. So I told all of them, please don't interrupt me. Please, if you see him on the phone, don't just start talking to me. Like, they wouldn't even stop and be like, oh, hey, when you get a chance, or even wait to see if I'm on the phone. Like, the one chick, she would literally just roll up and start talking. Like, not even like, excuse me, hey, do you have a minute? Anything. I might have like a fuzzy or something. I don't know. But nothing. Like, completely disrespectful, totally self-involved, and a narcissist. Because it's like, why do you feel like whatever you have to say is so much more important than even me being in my own thought, in my own space? Like, who raised you? Clearly they did a shit job. And so it was just like one girl in front of me, prairie dog, and she would pop her head up and be like, da 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 da, and asking a question. I'm like, dude, okay, first of all, y'all have managers all the way around. Just because I sit in the middle of your cubicles doesn't mean that I'm your go-to person. And they've been told several times, don't do that. Like, that's very rude. That's very disrespectful. So instead of them stopping themselves anytime they had a question or they would do that, I would email the supervisor and be like, oh, so-and-so has a question, you need to answer them. And they kept doing it. And I'm like, okay, so pretty much at this point, no, not even pretty much. Concrete fact is I don't talk to none of them, not even a peep. I don't even act like they exist, nothing. Because I'm like, anybody that's going to disrespect the boundaries that I've placed and feel like whatever they want supersedes the boundaries that I've placed down, then those aren't people that I need to interact with at all. And so what I would suggest is, like, I get a lot of clients that have high anxiety. They worry about what other people are thinking. I had one girl last night, and she worries about everything. She worries about what her family thinks. She worries about what the neighbors think. She worries about when she goes to the grocery store, what the grocery store people think. Constant worry, 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 because a lot of people don't like to put those boundaries out there for respect. And so what happens is a lot of people succumb to sucking down a lot of bullshit, and then they're completely drained. And I noticed that I was getting more and more irritable. I was feeling beyond drained, and I just was feeling like a used up rag for these people. Like, the fact that they want to act like they're not talking to me now is laughable, because I'm like, oh, y'all want to bite the hand that feeds you? Like, let's not forget who trained all y'all up on this floor. Let's not forget that. And so it's just like, that's just another example. When you do for others, a lot of times the people are just energy snakes. They will drain everything they need out of you, and then they'll keep it moving. So in essence, you got to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy, and that includes even at home. Like, if you have like a family member or a spouse or something that's draining your energy, you need to sit down and set those boundaries. The same way you would tell a client to set their boundaries in order to be respected, that you need to do that yourself as a therapist, because you want to make sure when you're going into these sessions that you're giving your all, and that you're not half-assing it. Like, you've been through so much school, or you're still in school right now, training to become a therapist, and you're not even going to be a good clinician if you're not doing the tools yourself, if you're not using your own coping skills, setting those boundaries, setting goals for yourself. What good are you to a client than preaching whatever you want to say and not living by it? Also, clients, they can see through the bullshit. Like, you have to be very transparent when you're working with these clients in order to build that therapeutic alliance. And a part of that is, like, if you're like, oh, what about trying this coping skills? And if you're not concrete on what you're saying, they're going to pick that up, and they're going to challenge you, and they're not going to respect what you say, and they might not even show up to the next session. And if they do, they're not going to be really in it. And that really doesn't make for a great experience for your client, because at the end of the day, it's all about helping them, right? And making sure that they are, a part of their own therapeutic goals and setting and understanding and working on it themselves. But you're there as a partnership with them to help them understand how they can be more productive in their life. So in order to do that, once again, and I keep harping on it and saying it, you have to set those boundaries. You have to let people know that, whether you do it verbally, because I'm not a confrontational person, so that's my main thing. Like, I know for me, my biggest thing is I will just like disengage completely. And some people are like, that's not healthy, you should try and talk about it, blah blah blah. But like, to me, if I've already expressed to you what I don't like and stop doing it, and then you keep doing it, I don't then have to be like, well, since you didn't stop doing it, now I'm done talking to you. Like, why am I going to waste more energy? So, needless to say, with me just like removing myself mentally from here and really just doing my job and getting it done, I don't leave here as like exhausted. I'm only exhausted because it's long days. But by the time I get to my internship, like, I feel so energized. Working out definitely helps. I like I said, 5:30 in the morning, no joke. Watching a lot of videos on specific ways to work out, and that's really good, not only for your body but for your mind, because I noticed that, because being here and being drained by these beings, I was just not happy. And working out gives you happy endorphins. And I, like, after I work out, which I pretty much do every morning, except I do give one day for my body to rest. Usually that's after leg day, because a bitch cannot walk. And sometimes I'll do my upper body or like my back or something like that. But, the pain, oof. I used to lift a lot like a few years ago, and I had, just with school, had been so busy I hadn't done it. And oh my gosh, y'all, I forgot about this pain. Like, TMI, to use the bathroom, like squatting, even that shit hurt. Like, oh, but it is what it is. But yeah, what are some boundaries that you guys set for yourself, and how are you implementing them, and how are the people around you respecting them, if they are respecting them? Because I've noticed in society that a lot of people don't set boundaries. So when you set boundaries, people aren't used to them, and they get offended and butt hurt, and who cares? Who cares? I tell people all the time in my sessions, if you set these boundaries and somebody challenges them and they don't like them, and then they end up not liking you, as long as you're happy and as long as you're doing what helps you mentally to be strong and healthy, then that's all that matters. Like, those people have to work on themselves. If there's a person that has an issue with you setting boundaries in order to make yourself feel mentally strong, then those are not people that you need to be around. They're not friends. Sometimes relatives have to kind of be pushed aside too a little bit, because you have to do what makes you happy. And a lot of people are suffering with anxiety and depression because they're people pleasers. My one client, she is such a people pleaser, to the point that she barely has any money, and she sent a guy flowers because she was happy he got a job. Meanwhile, she's still trying to search for a job and doesn't have any money. And so I asked her why she did that, and she was like, well, I just wanted to make him happy, but I don't really have a lot of money, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, was he thankful? Because if he was thankful, then hey, that's your friend. And she was like, well, I mean, I called him to make sure he got him because he didn't say anything. And I could just tell, like, she felt really deflated because she went above and beyond, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't reciprocated. And you shouldn't do things expecting things, but at the end of the day, if somebody isn't even showing you gratitude to acknowledge what you've done for them, then that's a problem. So, just let me know what you guys are doing to set your boundaries, and how are the people in your lives reacting to it if you just started school. Because I know I see in the comments a lot of you guys are just beginning on your journey of schooling, and start setting those boundaries now. I'm just curious, like, what that looks like for you and how people in your life are reacting to it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Like I said, I'm trying to do more videos since I'm at work during the day, and y'all know, like, this ain't my life here. So chances are you'll see this lovely blue wall behind me. But yeah, that was pretty much all I have, and thank you for all my new subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below on what are some of the ways that you set boundaries, because I'm really curious if maybe I need to add some more. Maybe, I don't know. All right, deuces, y'all. See you in the next one. Bye.